Jail time for cyberbullying. It's been 5 years since a Texas state law went into effect, turning cyberbullying into a crime.
David's law was passed by Texas legislature in 2017 and went into effect in 2018. But how has it made an impact?
This law was named after 16-year-old David Molak, who took his own life as a sophomore after being the repetitive target of relentless cyberbullying attacks.
After David's death, his family, along with support from the community, pushed lawmakers to address the void in Texas laws regarding cyberbullying and enforcement.
CPHS news reporter and co-anchor Reagan Hill has more as we look into 5 years of David's law.
Thanks, Jack. Months before David died, his San Antonio high school tried to intervene, but attempts to respond to cyberbullying he was facing proved insufficient. His death led to change in our state law, but has it led to change in action?
Texting, tweeting, Snapchatting, most students do all of these things every day. But how much do students really think about what they're saying online?
It was back in 2017 when CPHS News first brought to you the story of David's Law, and it's still our most viewed video to date. But that doesn't mean cyberbullying has stopped. According to a 2019 report from the National Center for Education, 1 out of every 5 students reported being bullied. While there are benefits to social media like keeping in touch with friends, entertainment, and self-expression, the cons of social media may be outweighing the pros. Findings from the Mayo Clinic revealed detrimental and damaging thoughts relating to teenager mental health, disrupting sleep, the spread of misinformation, unrealistic views of other people's lives, peer pressure, and cyberbullying.
I think a lot of the times it's easier to post something online that you wouldn't necessarily say in person. If you wouldn't go up to someone and tell them that they're ugly, but it's so much easier to type it out online.
I think it contributes to cyberbullying because it makes it a lot easier to just say whatever you want without actually being face to face with somebody and seeing their reaction to what you say.
Cedar Park High School principal John Sloan says with the expansion of technology and social media, teens find it easier to cyberbully others online.
If there are things that happen in a negative way and people interact on social media, people often say things they would never say to someone in person, and people can be really ugly and mean.
Since David Law was passed, reported cyberbullying cases in Texas schools has dropped significantly by more than 20%. This is according to the 2019 CDC National Youth Risk Behavior Survey, which found that out of students surveyed, 20% fewer said that they had been bullied online compared to before David's Law was passed. The survey also states 23% fewer suicide attempts and 31% less bullying reported in Texas schools. CPHS News spoke with Senior Director of LASD Student Support Services, Brian Miller. He says that the district uses a checklist made by the Texas School Safety Center to interpret David's Law and determine if an incident rises to the level of bullying.
We have had an investigation process where we have an intake form, we take student statements, we interview witnesses, and then make a determination on what our response is based on that.
Districts are now required to include cyberbullying in their district bullying policies and notify a child's parents if he or she is a victim or alleged aggressor of bullying. It allows for schools to collaborate with law enforcement when serious or life-threatening cyberbullying situations arise. CPHS News recently obtained data for the number of confirmed cases of bullying by high school and LASD by year dating back to 2014. While bullying incidents seem to be going down in the district, it was clear which cases were online, but regardless, the district says they will continue to fight cyberbullying.
I would just encourage anybody who's experiencing those kind of things to speak up and tell somebody, because the minute it happens, we can get involved and we can stop it and we can make sure that we intervene and help out.
David's Legacy Foundation continues to advocate for new policies that protect children from bullying and cyberbullying and promotes mental health resources and suicide prevention programs in Texas. With CPHS News, I'm Reagan Hill.
Thanks, Reagan.
So, Reagan, this is obviously very difficult subject matter. What was the hardest part about making this package?
Yeah, so definitely getting interviews, I would say. A lot of people did not want to interview with me because it's such a sensitive subject. Mm-hmm. So getting all the statistics and not getting anything wrong to make sure it's right, because it is a very hard-hitting story. I just wanted to get everything right, considering we did a story on this 5 years ago, back in 2017. So just wanted to make sure everything was right and up to date.
Get all the facts, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you talked about the data for LASD and the number of bullying cases. What does that say about Cedar Park High School?
So Cedar Park is actually moderately low. There was around a spike in 2017, but that was all because of David's Law and they started tracking more bullying cases. Mm-hmm. But as of up to date right now, Cedar Park is very, very low in the cases compared to other schools, and there's probably around less than 5 cases right now, reported from 2022, I believe.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Well,
perfect.
yes.
Thank you.
If any of you are thinking about suicide, are worried about a friend or loved one, or would like emotional support, 988 is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number.
And you can always reach out to your counselor here at CPHS.